Hey everyone, this is Rohit Rana. You're watching Legend Martini, and today I'm going to talk about five of the best sports films to have come out in the last 10 years since 2010. Let's get it out of the way first. Sports films are boring. Yeah, somebody just spit at their screen, but no, really. If you have to compile a list of the most predictable and cliched films you have seen all your life, I bet sports films would make up for at least half of that list, but not these ones, not the ones I am going to pick for this video. I know these may be as predictable or as cliched as most sports films are, but you forget about that right from the get-go. These films grab hold of you, but not by the means of those cheap thrills. Instead, the direction, the acting, the screenplay, they immerse you into whatever is happening in the way the story is being told on the screen. But without further ado, let's look at the list now. The first up is the movie that came out first in this decade, The Fighter, 2010, directed by David O. Russell. And now this guy has a huge lineup of really impressive films, and The Fighter is definitely among his top two, top three films. The Fighter also earned Christian Bale his first and I think so far the only Oscar. It was for Best Supporting Actor and fully deserved. I'm a huge Christian Bale fan, but I genuinely feel that he does not need these gimmicks. Weight loss, weight gain, showing up with a bald patch. If Christian Bale is given the opportunity to flex his acting muscles, he does not need any of that. He can grip you with his slow burning performances, which is very evident if you have seen his films like Out of the Furnace and Hostiles, both directed by Scott Cooper. You know what I'm talking about. But back to the film. From IMDb, The Fighter is based on the story of Mickey Ward, a fledgling boxer who tries to escape the shadow of his more famous but troubled older boxing brother and get his own shot at greatness. So this younger brother is played, Mickey Ward is portrayed by Mark Wahlberg, and the famous but troubled older brother is played by Christian Bale. Stellar performances by stellar actor. Now, David Russell and his team of writers combine different elements and bring everything together. The family drama, the equation of these two brothers with their mother, with their various sisters, the love angle, the equation that they have with each other, and then all of it is combined masterfully with the in-ring boxing action. Stereotypically speaking, it's a very bro film, but one that has a soul. The whole family dynamic mixed in with boxing is what makes this film truly special and a standout in this decade of all the sports films that have come out. Next up is Moneyball, that came out in 2011. If you're a Brad Pitt fan, you are in for a treat. Directed by Bennett Miller, Moneyball was nominated for several Oscars. And sports films don't come any better than this. Right from when we were kids, this thing has been fed into our heads that you may make plans in those fancy conference rooms all you want, but what happens on the ground is what matters the most eventually. Moneyball turns this theory on its head. This film is adapted from a book by Michael Lewis, and it really starts to question your understanding about sports, about international sports at least. So Billy Beane assembles a baseball team on a very lean budget, and he uses a computer generated analysis algorithm to acquire new players. And staying true to its essence, Moneyball hardly focuses on the infield action. It's mostly on screen. You will mostly see these discussions between Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill, and how they strategize, and all the action that happens, it happens off screen, most of it. But you do not really miss it because it's so captivating. And Brad Pitt's backstory, his struggles with his own family, they mesh really well with the overall story. And do look out for Chris Pratt. Next up is Bog versus McEnroe, that came out in 2017. One of the most epic sports rivalries of all time, brought to screen in an almost equally epic sports film, directed by Hannes Metz. Shia LaBeouf, he's almost playing himself. If you are interested in him, whether or not you like him or you hate him, you cannot miss this very high octane biographical sports film. Shia LaBeouf stretches his acting muscles to the fullest, and with great results. The other lead actor, Sverrir Gudnason, I'm sure I'm butchering his name. I'm really truly sorry, but he's equally good. The whole dynamic between these two players, whenever they come together on screen or whenever they are on screen, it's fireworks. This film brings to the screen the professional rivalry between the very volatile John McEnroe and seemingly calm John Bog. This rivalry peaked in 1980 and culminated in the Wimbledon of that year. And it's high octane right from the first scene. We delve deep into their daily emotional, psychological struggles that both of these men face. We're almost living their life through this movie, and we get to see the darker side of sports. That does not mean how people exploit these sports stars, but what do they go through every day personally? How do they deal with success? How do they deal with failure? How do they deal with the fear of failure is what this movie mostly focuses on. The next up on the list is Warrior, that came out in 2011. Directed by Gavin O'Connor. It's probably his best film, and he has also made some really impressive films. Warrior is this. The youngest son of an alcoholic former boxer returns home. This character is played by Joel Edgerton, where he's trained by his father for competition in a mixed martial arts tournament. A path that puts the fighter on a collision course with his estranged older brother, played by Tom Hardy. Stellar cast, stellar storytelling, great action by the way. Again, it's very comparable to Fighter in the sense that it mixes the family dynamics with the in-ring action and tells the struggles of our actors, the two brothers, their father. Nick Nolte has played the role of this father hated by both his sons like a gathering storm. Next up is Foxcatcher, that came out in 2014. Another film by Bennett Miller that makes the cut after Moneyball. And what a film! No, it's the film is comic and tragic in equal measure. It lurches from one scene to the next. It's sad, it's happy, it's scary, but on most occasions it's a very bleak film, but not in a manipulative way. It keeps the screenplay thoroughly engaging, and you're totally invested in the characters. Steve Carell has probably given his career best performance. And Channing Tatum and Mark Ruffalo are at their very best, at the top of their game. Playing brothers who share a love-hate relationship, love from the older brother and not so much from the younger one. And they both work for the team assembled by this multimillionaire, John DuPont, who's mostly self-destructive and not very much right in the head. So this concludes the list of the 5 best sports films that have come out since 2010. I know I've missed quite a few, like Creed 1, Creed 2, but these were the top 5 sports films in my view. If you have not seen any of these films, do not wait anymore. Look for these on Hotstar, Netflix, Amazon Prime. Do a Google search wherever you can find them, and sit back, enjoy. Subscribe to Legend Martini for your daily dose of lifestyle, movies, fashion, career, health and wellness, and everything else under the sun. Don't forget to hit the bell icon.